Talk It Up with Tyson, Jay Lamar, and Simone. Talk It Up.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk It Up. On today's show, of course, we have all of our segments for you, our street talk, our real talk, and we have an amazing interview with celebrity makeup artist London Jewels a little bit later on in the show. But I'm excited to announce our guest co-host for today while Simone is out. One of our favorite singers, Miss Trenyce. Welcome back to the Talk It Up table. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I want to jump right into it. We're going to get right into some street talk. These are all of the hottest topics that people are talking about out there in them streets. So I want to start things off with Billy Porter. So Billy Porter just announced in the Hollywood Reporter that he has HIV, and he's had HIV for the last 14 years. And the reason that I bring this story up isn't because he has HIV. It's because of the fact that people are now commenting on the fact that he has HIV. And my thought, even though I'm bringing it to you all for you all to talk about this, but my thought was, why is this news? Because at this point, a lot of people have HIV. Right. We know people, there are medications to allow you to make the virus dormant so you don't have to walk around with it and live through the excruciating pain and all the stuff that people went through in the late 80s, early 90s. So why is this even a topic now as Billy Porter announces his diagnosis?
It shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. I applaud him. I think he's brave. I'm going to say that, of course, he was scared of being marginalized and the retaliation that he received. But I think that now he's at an age where it bounces off.
Yes.
You know, so it's much easier to say, yeah, this is who I am. This is what's happened to me. And if this is you, look at me being this, you know, living out my entire dream, and you can do the same thing.
Yeah.
So there's nothing else that anyone should be doing. I mean, there are other diseases that people have that they don't talk about.
Yes.
No one talks about hepatitis C.
No one talks about that, or
I mean,
herpes, or any of those
else.
other things. And I think this is just kind of, it's really sad.
Yeah. I think it's one of those situations to where Billy Porter has really made a mark in his career at this point. And I think that he's unapologetically Billy Porter.
Yes.
And I think that we've seen so many truths, him just showing up on red carpets and shining and being such an androgynous man. And now this is just another part of his truth. I feel like each and every year, Billy Porter kind of is a staple or an example for so many other people. So I feel like in this moment, for this particular topic, him announcing the fact that he had HIV was just something to make him more lead the way in a better way, and also be a staple in the community. And I think it was a good thing for him to talk because, as you said,
awesome.
people can look up to him and say, you know, Billy Porter is living a normal life, he's surviving, and he has HIV.
Yeah, I think, like you said, that this, he mentioned in this article that the reason that he brings this up now is because he played on Pose. His character has HIV. So all of his frustrations, all of his fears, things that he dealt with early on in his diagnosis, and even, you know, up until a few years ago, he was able to get that out via this character, which thus got him more comfortable being able to express it. And like you said, he now feels like, and like you said also, he's now feeling like I'm at a place in my career where I don't have to worry about, or are they going to hire me? Am I going to get blackballed or blacklisted or anything like that? And then I also can be an example because he has been the example many times before.
And it's called living with HIV at this point. You know, it is not, even on Pose, they show it from the beginning when we weren't really sure how to reel it in and all of that. And he's saying, this is what the face of HIV is now. And that's very important, right?
Well, let's move on, change gears a little bit. It's a sad story a little bit, but Biden is set to meet, or he's meeting with George Floyds family around the anniversary of his death. You know, it's been 1 year since the horrific death of George Floyd. And as a result of the death of George Floyd, the whole world went into just, not a tailspin, but they went into this revolution where it was like enough is enough. Some people are knocking Biden for waiting so long to speak to the family, or having the family come to the White House. He has spoken to them, but they hadn't been to the White House. So yeah, what do you think about that? And then also the simple fact that there's a bill that they're still trying to get through the Senate. It passed through the Congress, or through the House, but it has not passed. It's stalling in the Senate. The Democrats would need 10 Republicans to side with them, which I'm almost positive they're not going to get, in order for this bill to pass. What do you think about Biden meeting with the family at this point?
I think the timing is appropriate. Why are people putting all this pressure on? He just got in office at the end of January, and he has had so many issues, including the George Floyd issue, to deal with. And I feel like one by one he's tackling those issues. I think it was appropriate to meet with the family on the anniversary of George Floyd's death. I think it was more symbolic to be comforting to them on that particular day than any other day. So I think that him choosing that day to meet with them and kind of mourn with them on the anniversary of the death of George Floyd was a very appropriate.
I mean, we can sit here and judge, and we can sit here and judge like how he's, alleviating each issue, but we don't know how long that list is. I'm sure it's a laundry list of things that he has to get to. What I would add to it is that I'm with you that I think it was great timing for the family. I just want to make sure this is not a photo op. And I know he can only do so much with this bill, but Congress, you've got to do your job.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's the sweeping bill that you're talking about that was signed in March to ensure that police officers can be sued and charged, ban chokeholds, limit no-knock warrants, create a database for officers with history of violence. It's a start, but we need to make sure that we are voting on every level of government. There's only so much the president can do. That's what we need to understand. Congress.
The Senate.
The Senate
is the one.
The one. So that's the most important thing to say at this time.
I agree.
So I wanted to move on to this other, while we're talking about essentially Black Lives Matter. If you remember, the white woman, we call her Central Park Karen, who called the police on the black guy who was bird watching after her dog was running around without a leash, and he just said, "Yo, ma'am, you should put your dog on a leash." And she intentionally called the police. She lied and said that she was being antagonized and harassed by, and she specifically said an African-American male because she knows what type of response that gets from the police, only to find out it was a lie because it was on camera. And then her now former company, they immediately dropped her and fired her because they said that they do not stand for racism of any kind. She's now suing them for their firing her, and they still are sticking with what they did. They said that we don't condone racism, and so she had to go. What thoughts? Should she be able to sue?
Boo-hoo.
No.
Oh, okay.
Boo-hoo is my thought. I also am just wondering, what is this thing where white people want to relate to minority marginalization?
You gotta preach.
What is it?
It ain't the same, sis.
It is not the same, and it never will be, because you get to pick and choose when you want to feel marginalized. And it's a feeling. It's not even something that's actually happening to you.
I'm glad you asked this question.
My
I
God.
have the answer.
Please tell me.
We make it look cool. When we were out there protesting in 2020, and everybody was, we were all out here trying to make a change, yes, but to some, that looked like a party.
It was something to do.
Some, it was like, oh, so they're part of the in crowd, and because I don't feel comfortable being around those people, they made themselves feel ostracized. So then here we come to January 6th.
I'm gonna tell you what that is. That is called power in the struggle. Having someone put their knee on your neck is not a celebratory moment. And then don't compare your issue with that or our issues. It's not the same sandwich at all.
You can't compare something you created to something that was done to somebody else.
It ain't
it's
working, Karen.
ridiculous.
It ain't. All right, so unfortunately, that's all we got for Street Talk because we've run out of time. I mean, there are always so many more stories to get around
My
to.
blood pressure was up.
But when we come back, though, we're going to jump into some real talk. So y'all keep it locked. More Talk It Up right after this. Welcome back to Talk It Up. It's time to get real with some real talk. And I mean, unfortunately, sometimes in the news, it's just a lot of sad stuff going on. So after the most recent mass shooting in Los Angeles, actually San Bernardino, President Biden has said enough, in all caps. Enough is enough. I believe a week or two prior to that shooting, there were 3 mass shootings in the same week. And so he's just had enough. And I know we just talked about in an earlier segment, as he's trying to do other things, there are all these other little fires and things that are unraveling. And to me, this is one of those things, because now we're having mass shootings almost daily. That's not normal. Not that mass shootings are normal, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? He said that it's been enough. Is anything going to change? Because we have been talking about gun laws since Columbine in 99 or 98.
Unfortunately, to me, because it's a political party thing,
Right.
and I feel like, the mass shooting that just happened at the train station or whatever, 8 innocent people that were at a union meeting lost their lives
San Jose.
in San Jose, because of one particular person. Like, how many more shootings are we going to have for people to realize that, we need to have some control over these weapons and guns? Anybody can walk up and literally get a gun.
I told you, that's my fear with like movie theaters and stuff. Isn't the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's the shootings. I'm good. I am good on
Because
that.
like people are having a bad day, let me go.
I know.
Make it-
And then when you have the police get on television and justify it as he had a bad day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuff like that it gives them free license to do whatever they want to do.
Well, let's lighten this up a little bit. Ariana Grande, pop star Ariana Grande, confirms that she did get married to Galton Gomez. And they're saying that, is she too young to get married? I mean, I don't think there is a such thing as too young. I mean, as long as you're over age. But people are saying that, why did she get married now? She had her whole life of her career ahead of her. Like, she could have waited. Her career is like at, some would say at its height. What do you think about this?
I personally, okay, first of all, we're talking entertainment years.
Yes.
Okay? A 21-year-old in entertainment years is a 30-year-old in entertainment years. You have lived.
Is she still 21?
She's not 20. She got to be like
I'm just
25.
using
No, I
that
got
as
you.
an-
Yeah.
But I'm saying
about to say she
a
been
baby.
21 twice.
When you think about, you know what? When you think about, let's say 18. When you think about a normal 18-year-old from back home, that's not a normal 18-year-old that is on tour, that has
Yeah.
seen so many things.
Like a Willow Smith.
Yeah.
Who's well
Or
Well,
Beyonce when she was 18
Just
with
Yeah.
Destiny's
all-
Child. Yeah,
yes,
completely
all of
different.
these artists that are out here, really, really, just out here living their lives, right? So you have to take that into account. Ariana Grande came from money before she was a star. So you have to understand that as well. She has always understood what that has meant. On top of that, who cares?
Who
If she's
cares?
happy, let her be happy. And that's just that on that. I don't really understand why we're
Yeah.
digging so deeply into her personal
Just
life.
celebrate and be happy for it.
And also, why do we always have to put like this chain around a woman
Yeah.
that her whole career has to stop for a man and a baby?
And-
Like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And we've seen people like Carrie Underwood and other stars who
Plenty
have
of
literally
stars.
like have flourished after
Plenty.
marriage and children and stuff like that. I don't think that there is an appropriate age for marriage. I think that when the feeling is right and you meet the right person, whether that is at 21 or 41, I think you just have to go with it. And if it doesn't work out at 21, it's okay.
Yeah, you still
You know
got
what I'm saying?
time,
You, at least you gave it a try. And I'm all about, living life with no regrets. If I married somebody today and God forbid it didn't work out, I'm not going to regret getting married to that person because in that moment, I felt
felt
like
right.
it was right.
Yeah.
So I don't think that she should put aside her happiness for a career or anything or for common or for regular people. Like, live
Yeah.
your life,
Well,
sis.
let me
You could
drop
be
this
40
before
and it
we
not turn out
before we
right.
run out of time. Brad Pitt, he won 50-50 joint custody with Angelina Jolie regarding
happy
their
for him.
kids. How important is this win for Brad and the children?
It's a great win. I think that anytime a mom does not want a father to be a part of a child's life, that's inappropriate. Why would you want to strip your children of having a father? Why would you want to limit their time with a father? I think this is a great win. I think this is going to help Brad Pitt because he has some issues going on. I think he was pretty much acting out because of Angelina Jolie. So
Yeah.
I think this time is appropriate for him.
It's been 5 years. It was a tit-for-tat situation anyway, and it might be just a little bit of karma too, just saying.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they worked it out.
Yeah, congratulations to Brad on this win. We have more in our Real Talk segment right after this. Y'all keep it locked. Hey, welcome back to Talk It Up. We are still in our Real Talk segment here. And I'm actually going to pull some stories from Street Talk since we have some extra time. Kim Kardashian announced that she failed the baby bar. You all know that Kim Kardashian was on this this journey to become an attorney. She wasn't going to law school. She was actually doing a internship or apprenticeship with a law firm. Thus, she was having these study sessions, these intense study sessions, and then there's a test that you can take after you complete so many hours of internship. And if you pass this, then you can then sit for the real bar, you know, should you get more studying. And then if you pass that, you become an attorney. So she was taking that route instead of the traditional route, but she failed the baby bar. Thoughts on her transparency? Have you all ever failed like a major test and had to bounce back? You know, you can always come back and take the test again. What do you think?
I mean, I commend her for even studying for the bar at the age that she is, and being a mom and all of that stuff, and juggling all of her different lives and different things that she's a part of. I dated a lawyer who definitely said that the bar, no matter if it's the baby bar or not, is difficult.
Especially, they said California is the hardest bar.
So, and it
California
is
and
the
New York
hardest
are
bar,
the
and
two.
people
Yes.
avoid the California and the New York bar for that very reason.
Yes.
So the fact that she even attempted it, kudos to her.
Yeah.
Kudos.
I think, you know, all of us have, you know, been to college or some type of form of higher education. And, you know, we've had obstacles in college where we failed baby bars or baby tests, you know what I'm saying?
Baby midterms, baby finals,
You know,
all of it.
and we had the same, you know, feelings that she kind of had. You know, she was upset at herself, and she was trying to figure out, you know, I watched the show, and she was trying to figure out if she would take it again and when she would take it again. And is it something that she really wanted to do anymore because she felt like defeated? I think it was a real moment
Wake
for
up
her.
call, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know, a wake up call, but
I
I
think
think it was a
so.
real.
I agree with you.
Because I,
think-
don't think she's ever had like a moment to
A moment of
Not
failure?
really. Like when you come from privilege and you
Okay.
have all these safeguards that are put in place to make sure
Yeah.
that you don't fall too far. This is one time that money, my family influence,
I agree.
nothing can help.
So
Nothing to
I am
save.
thinking about, you know, Chris can't come in and
Right.
save the
That's
day
right.
in this
That's
particular
right.
situation. So you are right. You know, but I feel like also, I like how honest she was, you know, because she could have not
Not
said
said a
nothing,
word.
and we wouldn't even know.
Never know, yeah.
You know, and like she had opportunity. I think she said she could have took it again like last November, and then she could take it in this June, and she's thinking about doing it or not doing it. But I think that Kim Kardashian, the way that she's evolving into this more mature person, I'm liking this person. We're also seeing her grow and her wanting to do more social justice things. I think it's a good thing.
This is the first instance where, in the entire time that Kim K has been on the scene, that I can identify with her a little bit.
Yes. Okay.
Anytime before, I'm not interested. I don't watch the show. Like nothing she does appeals to me. I'm not her demographic, and I get that, and that's cool.
Agreed.
But this is the first time when I saw the clip. I was like, huh, okay. I haven't tried to take the bar or failed a major test, but like you said, being in college, I failed some things, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I can relate
And
to that.
she, I think didn't pass it by like 80 points or something like that.
It wasn't a lot.
It wasn't a lot. She
Yeah.
almost passed it. A lawyer on my Facebook had posted it, and all the lawyer friends were like commenting, and people were like, you know, they applauded her for even
Yeah.
taking the test
Seriously.
and then making that type of score. And a lot of them talked about their first time taking the bar and them failing it. But then somebody commented and said, if she had passed, imagine how many other people would have navigated around law school.
Yeah, and try to go that
And
route.
try to go that
Ooh,
route
that's
as
a
well.
very good
And
point.
then how would that make those people who actually are in law school feel? You know, are they making the right decision by taking the educational route
Yeah.
opposed to this route?
That's a great
that bar
point.
is not. It's no punk. I've dated and failed a couple
Same.
times and still. Anyway, this next story I want to bring real quick. Naomi Osaka, who you all know is the tennis phenom, young tennis phenom, and she has said that she will not do interviews during the French Open because she said that, in her opinion, the media only picks out the negative stuff. And she's like, after you lose a match or even if you win and they only want to talk about your missteps, she's like, that's just not the type of energy that you need when you're competing. What do you think about her stance on not doing interviews? Because I think a lot of people don't want to do interviews for that reason.
I applaud her for putting her mental health first. She talked about her mental health and wanting to keep that positive energy around her. Watching her, this young lady, like develop, like she seems like a genuinely nice person.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've all, you know, been in press junkets and things like that. And sometimes in press junkets or when you're interviewing somebody, you are trying to get the best story. So you are nitpicking. Oh, okay, you won, but you know, do you think that you could have beat Serena, you know, by more if you had hit that ball the second time? Who wants to deal with that? I think you want to celebrate your victory or deal with your loss in private. So I think it's appropriate for her to put herself first.
Yeah, and I think it also should be a wake-up call for journalists to level up and create better questions, you know, to stop digging so much for the button.
Yeah.
Because she's a serious athlete.
Yeah.
And should be treated as such.
We've watched Serena sometimes during these press interviews like get very irritated and emotional.
Serena, LeBron.
LeBron, yeah.
I was going to say, this is across the board. They do this to everyone. They do this in golf. They do it in soccer. They do it to everybody. But I just feel like, you know, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I think she about to be a trendsetter for this show. I think that we're going to see more people say,
If they stop doing interviews, I
Yeah.
bet you
Better
change this.
interviews.
yeah,
Better
I'm gonna
interviews.
take a mental health day and not do an interview
Yeah.
with you guys. Have a good day.
Yeah.
And with that said, we are about to do an interview, so y'all come right on back. When we come back, we have celebrity makeup artist London Jules right here at the Talk It Up table. Y'all keep it locked. Hey, y'all, welcome back to Talk It Up. So I am so excited about this next interview. Not only is he a really good friend of mine, but he's a celebrity makeup artist. He's worked with the likes of Layla Hathaway and Judge Maybelline on the divorce court. And he's from New York by way of New Jersey. Y'all give a big Talk It Up welcome to my boy, London Jules. Woo! Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me. Like, first of all, can we talk about how fabulous y'all look?
Well, we had to dress up for you.
Yeah, we did it for you.
We did it just for you.
Look, y'all did it. Y'all did what needed to be done.
Period.
And that's that. As, you know.
Well, let's talk about all things you.
Well,
So what allows you to step into the makeup world? What made you want to be, you know, a makeup artist?
so it kind of, I've always been artistic in my growing up and stuff like that. Love to draw and things of that nature. Self-taught, so I didn't go to school for makeup, but it was more so of working with people and just having that dynamic of a closer sense with them. I really started out as a fashion designer. I would sketch and I was making pocketbooks in high school for people, and they was buying them.
That's
And
what's up.
like that was the era of the Coogee, and you know, they had the Coogee purses and the jean jackets and stuff like that. Ask about me, trust me. So, you know, but the level of just being able to have that dialogue and that relationship with a person and just a little bit more intimate comes through makeup versus, you know, me just designing something for you, giving it to you, and then you go about your way. Like, I didn't really get that much. So the tug came on when I applied for, you know, the Mac company, and you know, I worked there for a little bit, and I just was like, I love this, but I don't want to work for somebody. So I gotta put up my deuces, and I you know, I did a little freelancing, and it's been a journey.
Wow, that's crazy. So the fact that, one, I have known you all this time and didn't know that you didn't go to school for this, but that to me shows how if you know what your passion is and you know what you are, what your talents are, you pour into that.
Yeah, I mean,
Look at where you can go.
And not to cut you off, but practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
And God gives us all gifts, and it's up to us to kind of hone into that and work on that.
And humble yourself because you're learning as you go.
Oh, yes.
And that's what, I mean, every time we come up here and do the show, anything that you do, the more you do it, the more you learn. So who was your first major celebrity client? And how did that, since you didn't go the traditional route, how did that even come about?
So my first major celebrity client for me was Miss Lisa Ray.
Oh, wow.
And what happened was I was working, doing my mentor, Danessa Myricks, who is an amazing makeup artist. She actually has a line out right now that is doing amazing in Sephora. She would have me assist her, and we would work with these companies, and the hair companies, and they actually wanted to do something with her with a flat iron. And she wasn't available, so she was like, well, just have London do it. And I did it. And I was just like, you know who you are? Like, you're Lisa Ray. Like, I just came to dance. That's it. Like, nothing else. So, you know, that was a great experience.
And you
Come
just
on and
jumped right
dance.
in.
Well, hold on. Before we go to our next question, let's take a quick break. Y'all, we have more with celebrity makeup artist London Jules right after this. Y'all keep it locked. Hey, y'all, welcome back to Talk It Up. We are joined by celebrity makeup artist London Jules. And Trenyce, you had the next question? Go ahead and throw it
Yes,
at her.
I do. If a client wants a look that you don't agree with, I feel him going down memory lane. How do you address that?
Well, the best way to address that is compromisation. You can't really push on a client, but you have to give suggestions. So in my case, I learned immediately, like in the beginning, because I don't like confrontation. I'm an easy breezy type of boy. So, you know, well, maybe we should try this.
It's the, well, maybe.
I've never been a yes boy.
It's the confrontation for me.
No, or a yes guy. So I will get my point across however I can. But, you know, in all things respectfully, in all things moderation, there is a way to get people to do what you need them to do by the way that you talk to them, the tone.
That's true.
So, you know, if you
Always the tone.
come at someone hard, of course, they're going to look
Yeah.
at you sideways like, hey, who you think you're talking to?
And artists are sensitive. So,
I'm
Keep
an
in mind.
artist, and I'm sensitive about my.
I mean, Miss E. Badu said it best. I
Okay.
mean, and she couldn't have lied, okay? Because
Okay.
it's the truth.
That is the
But
truth.
yes, it's all about the approach and compromisation.
Well, I'm gonna be nosy for real, because I see this and I'm like, well, I'm so happy nobody else wanted to ask this question.
We let you
I have
have
been waiting. Tell us/me about this Mariah Carey experience.
Oh.
How,
Look, we're like,
when, where,
Oh my God.
why wasn't I there?
Wait,
All of that.
So, first of all, I received a call. And, you know, you hear about people receiving calls all the time and like, oh, yeah, and they hang up. I received a call and I was like, are y'all joking? Like, me? Maybe London? No. Do you mean Adrian? No. Maybe you have the wrong name. Like, no, they're like, no, you. Are you available, like, right now to
right
come
now.
to the house, do Mariah Carey? And not Mariah Carey, MC. So I'm like, oh.
Oh, they know her.
Oh,
know her.
look.
Wow.
Not Mariah, not me.
So, you know,
MC.
not only was my heart all the way down to my ankles, but, you know, it was everything that I thought it would be, you know, aside from, you know, of course you have to sign an NDA.
Yes.
But that's fine. Sign my life away.
It's Mariah Carey.
Hello?
In the period.
But, you know, and she came floating in as, you ever see
love it.
back in the day with TV commercials or TV shows where they would come
The
floating.
door opens and they
Yeah.
float
They
in with
just-
the flowy situation.
And that's how I felt like she came in. Like she just floated right on in. And I was just
love
like,
it.
hi. And she's like, hi. You know, and everything was smooth. She liked the makeup, but that was one of those situations where I got my fix. I will never have to do it again. So like they called me back after and I kind of was like, oh no, not available. There are certain things that for me and my path that I see and I know me, and because I'm not a yes boy in certain situations, that if they were to arise,
Oh, it's like you see it before it happens. So you don't
yeah.
like.
So you know, let's just avoid all that. I got my fix, and that was that.
Well, listen, Adrian's not, sorry, London. I still call him by his real name. London's not going anywhere. We have a game that we're going to play with you, so
Yes,
sit tight.
come on,
Y'all
gang.
sit tight. We'll be right back with more Talk It Up. Hey, y'all, welcome back to Talk It Up. So, celebrity makeup artist London Jules is still here, and he's going to play a game with us that we like to call Make It Up. So we're going to show you a couple pictures, well, actually quite a few pictures of some celebrities, and you just kind of break down their makeup look, yay or nay, what's wrong,
Lord,
what should be
please don't
fixed.
let it be any of my friends
It's all
who do
in
the
fun.
makeup.
So let's jump into our very first celebrity, Angelina Jolie.
Ooh, I mean, she looks a little tired. I mean, you know, in this case, we could have just toned down the translucent powder and really just, yeah, set it real good. But, you know, these things happen often in the makeup world. I always suggest that somebody should take a picture before they leave the hotel or whatever venue they're in, just to make sure that it's
That's a great
together.
idea.
I hope they do that.
Because that
It
ain't
doesn't
cute.
always happen.
Well, we don't know how long ago that was. Anyway, Trenyce.
I mean, well, whether it was,
you know, people learn. You know, that might have been like 2000.
But the makeup's still bad.
It was.
Oh,
It was.
tell the truth, shame the devil.
She's looked better, for sure.
All right, next up, Trenyce, who we got?
We have Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I don't know. She looks a little Christmassy for this moment. The green hair, the red lip. And not my best. I've seen her look very regal and very on point. So it's just a bad combination this time.
What would you have done differently on her?
Well, definitely, I would have took that off.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely. And I probably wouldn't have gave her a smoky eye and a hard lip.
Gotcha.
Like, it's one or the other. Either a hard smoky eye and a soft lip, or a hard lip and a nude eye.
Tone it down some. But you know, Lady Gaga is very colorful.
Gotcha.
So
Especially
Christmas
then.
tree is her thing, probably.
Especially, especially then.
So this next one kind of surprised me. I know she does a lot of fun things with her makeup sometimes, so I'm not quite sure if this picture's from
That
an
wasn't
event or
fun.
what.
That
But
wasn't fun.
Tyra Banks, supermodel, Tyra Banks, she knows a thing or two about makeup.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all got real quiet. She does know a thing or two about makeup.
I mean,
She does.
I
She's
think
a
it
model. She's a supermodel.
who said that?
maybe she was going somewhere very specific.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Like a costume party.
That's what I say. We never know. But nonetheless, the picture is here. What do you think about the makeup?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Next.
I don't. I mean, it's just a total wrong for me. Maybe she was having a bad day, and I would just fix that by, I mean, she's a beautiful woman. So, you know, yeah, less is more, you know.
All right. Well, she's a hot topic. Go ahead and throw this next one out.
J-Lo. J-Lo usually gets it right, but
Mamacita.
what do you think of this
Shit,
one?
you know what? Y'all might strangle me, but I don't think this one is actually too bad.
It
You
looks
don't think
cakey
she looks?
to me.
You don't think she looks muted?
It's the
That's
way
my
you turn
thing.
while you say
Look,
J-Lo back there.
Right. What happened?
No, I like the muteness.
Okay.
I'm not upset with it. You know, it's a 10 for me.
Okay.
All right.
So what about Kelly Osbourne?
Ooh, Jesus. Well,
She like the mask, like Jim
You
Carrey
know,
in the mask. That shit.
in this case, I would take the Kelly Osbourne today than this picture that I see now, because even though she looks like a totally different person, but you know, it's just pie face.
I don't like that.
Looks too cakey. You know, again, a lot of times less is more. And then when you are working with skin that is of Caucasian descent, the more you pile on, the more older they're going to look. So, you know how we do a beat
Yes.
on those that are African American descent and a Spanish descent. You know, you can beat, you know, but when you beat on a white person, it kind of looks a little, it ages them.
Oh, wow.
It ages them. So you definitely don't want to do a lot.
Less is more.
Yeah, less is definitely more.
Well, listen, London, you know I have enjoyed you being here at this desk. You got to come back
Look.
whenever you like. Come
Thank you
back,
for
have a
having
seat.
me, you know.
Tell our audience where they can find all things London, where
You
you
can
they
find me
get
on the
booked,
block.
all of that
No.
stuff.
So you can definitely find me on Instagram. You can definitely find me on Instagram at London, LONDYN, JUWELZ, Jules. on Instagram. And please be on the lookout. I do have a swimwear coming out. I have an underwear line coming out. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. Like, if you go to my Instagram and see me,
He love a speed up.
You will see.
He love a speed up.
I mean, but trust me. And the candle line and the fragrance, because, I love to smell good, and I figure people want to smell like me.
Lifestyle is his
Maybe.
thing. Fashion.
So, yes.
Makeup, all of it is under London
Yes.
Jewels. So thank you, London, for stopping
Thank
through.
you for having me.
Y'all stay tuned. We have more Talk It Up right after this. Welcome back to Talk It Up. You guys know we like to share the love, whether that's music, TV, movies, whatever it is. And so right now we're about to share some of our favorite music picks with you. So Trenyce, you're up first. What are your music picks? Well, your first music pick.
My first music pick is a Broadway star turned superstar actor turned artist, Leslie Odom.
Okay.
His album is amazing. And if you have not heard it, please, 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 please.
Tell
get
me
into it.
about this album. Is it R&B? Is it pop?
It is
What
a little
is it
bit
that
of-
you love about it?
It's because it's a little bit of everything, but everything sounds genuinely authentic to his voice. He has an incredible sound. He's worked with an orchestra on it, and I just hear real artistry, and it's very rare that we hear that these days, so I applaud him, his brilliant work.
That's awesome.
My music pick for this week is Adrian John. He's a recording artist. We are working to get him here in the studio for a performance and an interview. He's an amazing talent, amazing singer and songwriter. He goes in pop and R&B. He has such a unique style to his voice. Got to introduce the two of you.
Yes, please.
His latest project is called Temporary Lover, which he did with a Brazilian artist, which is blowing up in Brazil right now. So that's who my music choice is for this week.
My second choice is a beautiful black queen who is continuously uplifting each and every one of us, time and time again. You can call on her. She will be there for you. Anytime I ask her to sing, she does sing for me. I'm choosing you because I would love for you to, for 30 seconds, just give us a snippet of your song.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I really meant what I said, like seriously, like you are uplifting. Anytime I rely on you or call on you, you're there. So,
Oh my God, you're so sweet. Don't make me cry on
Yeah.
camera. What in the world?
so give us something
Yeah.
uplifting and encouraging.
So I'll sing a little bit of the song. It goes, I know you can't help it, misunderstood. The road, it gets so lonely when you're trying to do what's good. But I see behind your eyes, the world has held you in her arms. If you let her go, it seems as if you will just drift into the sea. But trust me, you must believe. Everywhere you turn and everybody's looking, judging, criticize, making statements, hesitating, printing stories falsified. Understand me when I tell you truth gets buried in the lies. Babe, you better open your eyes. 'Cause everything will be all right. Everything will be all right in the end.
Yes, come on. That's it right there.
Singing it sitting down, child.
Come on.
That was beautiful.
And because of that, my second pick don't even matter. That's what y'all need to be concerned about right there.
And she wins.
And she wins, okay?
She wins.
So when we come back, we have more Talk It Up. Y'all keep it locked. Hey y'all, welcome back to Talk It Up. Before you go, I got one more quick story for you. And this story I think is pretty cool. It's that Karine Jean-Pierre. She becomes the first Black woman in 30 years to host the daily press briefings from the White House. The last Black woman to do this was during the George H.W. Bush administration back in like the early 90s. What do you think about this? Because when it was brought to her attention, the way she handled it and the way she responded to the interviewer that mentioned it, I thought was amazing. She said that, as much as I appreciate you acknowledging this and I recognize this, it takes a team to do everything that takes place at this White House, and it's not about me. And she completely turned it back on them. So what do you think about that?
Do you want to go first? You should go first.
I am just happy because that beautiful Black queen had this natural look. And I was just like, not only did she handle it with such poise and class, but she's a beautiful Black queen. I loved everything about it. I did feel like, though, when they brought it to her attention, I did see her kind of swallow it and then, correctly answer it. But I know she probably...
It's flattering.
Yeah, I know she probably went, back into the office like, y'all, I made history! And she should be celebrated for that. But I love the way she handled it, and I love to see my Black people shining in a positive way.
Same.
I'm going to add just a little. You were on the road that I was on with her swallowing it. I will be so happy when Black women can accept their flowers with the purity and strength that we deserve.
Yes.
Versus having to say PC things like, it's not about me, it's about, and we already know that. But I wanted her to take 10 more seconds to luxuriate because she earned that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that what she did was wrong. I thought that she handled it beautifully. But it just Black woman to Black woman.
Yeah.
It's hurtful that I recognize that. I recognize the swallowing. I recognize that she was fighting back, accepting that she really was making history and kind of just, I'm okay. This is really,
Let me ask y'all this before we get out of here, because this all ties together. I know a lot of people talk about being able to sell yourself and talk about yourself, but I find that's one of my issues. I find it very difficult to talk about me. I would much rather talk about everyone else. But sometimes you need to talk about yourself, celebrate yourself. And so does that speak to your comfort level within yourself? Because I know some people that can talk about themselves easily. Does that mean that they're just more settled within themselves, or is that something else?
I think... Go ahead.
I think it's twofold. I think if you're Black, you're trying to shrink yourself just a little bit so that your power is not overbearing, which is what I saw her do, just a little bit. And then for others, it's that you are shy and that you are like, oh gosh, please don't make this about me, it's about everybody. So, but I don't want us to shrink. That's the thing. And I feel like if you're great, and I struggle with that too, but I decided, I was like, no, when people compliment me, I'm going to say thank you.
I'm going to
and
own
I'm going to leave it.
Yes.
Because they gave that compliment to you for a reason. They saw your light and they wanted you to know that.
Yeah.
And so it is, I think it's kind of like a slap in the face not to fully accept.
I think sometimes it's hard because all we've ever wanted to do as Black people is more so just fit in.
Yes.
And when we shine or outshine our peers, we kind of do take that step back and like, okay, I don't want to outshine. I just want to fit in.
Yeah.
I just want to sit at the table. And I feel like with her, in that moment, she did take a second and say, okay, I made history, but I can't be too extra with it. And I wish she would have been, as you said, but it was a classy and tactful moment for her. And no matter what, she still made history.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to bring that topic to you guys. We want to thank London Jules for stopping by and hanging with us here at the Talk It Up table. Trenyce, thank you for co-hosting and filling in for our beloved Tyler Simone.
Thank you.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Talk It Up, and make sure you come back for another amazing episode of Talk It Up.